And you might say, how does it reduce the risk of injury? Well, let's say you have something heavy and you're putting it in a very high cabinet. Okay, if your shoulders aren't strong, if your back isn't strong, you could pull a muscle. You could mess up your back. You could pull your back muscle. You could slip a disc, or there's all different ways that you can injure yourself while you're doing normal household chores or while you're living your life. But if you improve your back, if you improve your muscles and your strength and your biceps, you won't have trouble or have to worry. Hello, this is Lorraine, and welcome to Healthy Living, Spirit, Soul, and Body. As you know, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know fitness is very important to me. And I honestly am in a routine now, which is the best thing to do, but I'm in a routine now every morning to work out for at least 20 minutes to a half hour every day. It wakes up my body, it helps my cardiovascular system, so many different things that it helps as far as my health goes. But today we're going to talk about resistance training, okay? And why that's important to you, especially as you get older. When I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, I found that I was going to have to eat little meals throughout the day. And I was always conscious of my weight. And I said, I don't want to do that because I'm going to gain, I'm going to be 200 pounds. So what I decided to do at that point was I joined a gym. And during the gym, when I first joined, I was going to aerobic training. I would do step classes, and I liked that. I liked, stepping to the music, learning the routines, etc. But after maybe about 5 years of doing that, I realized that I started going to weight training classes. And somebody told me, when you start doing this, you're going to see, the back of your legs are going to shrink and you're going to see yourself get very toned very quickly. And I thought, well, that's interesting. I thought all this time that aerobic training was the way to go. But she was right. Once I started doing the weight training for not really a long period of time, maybe a couple of months, and the back of my legs really toned right out, and so many other things made me look slimmer, and which is what I wanted. So did a little research, and I want to talk a little bit about the difference between aerobic training and weight training. So here we go. So let's talk a little bit about weight training versus cardio. Now, cardio is very good. I mean, years ago, Jane Fonda had all those crazy workouts where she got everybody moving and doing all these different steps and grapevines and all this crazy stuff. And cardio is good. It does help your cardiovascular system. It helps your heart. Cardio, the definition of cardio is any type of sustained exercise that increases your breathing and heart rate. Cardio will improve the efficiency of your heart and lungs and reduces the risk of diseases like diabetes and cardiovascular diseases, okay? And yes, if you're going to work out using cardio, say for a half hour, and you're going to do weight training for a half hour, during that half hour of cardio, you are going to burn more calories. However, when you're using your weight training, the muscle that you build is going to help your metabolism even while you're sleeping. So weight training and resistance training is any type of exercise that makes your muscles work against a weight or a force. And this could be hand weights, it could be resistance bands, and it could even be like with Pilates, you're using your own body weight as resistance, okay? And all of those are great because it builds muscle. Building muscle is the key to increasing your metabolic rate or your metabolism, besides which it helps and maintains your muscles, it improves bone density and reduces the risk of injury. And you might say, how does it reduce the risk of injury? Well, let's say you have something heavy and you're putting it in a very high cabinet, okay? If your shoulders aren't strong, if your back isn't strong, you could pull a muscle. You could mess up your back. You could pull your back muscle. You could slip a disc, or there's all different ways that you can injure yourself while you're doing normal household chores and while you're living your life. But if you improve your back, if you improve your muscles and your strength and your biceps, you won't have trouble or have to worry after you go shopping and you're lifting the bags out of your car to bring into your house. And and as you get older, your muscle mass is extremely important, okay? Because it affects your bone density. So the bottom line is you want to preserve your lean muscle mass because you want to preserve your stamina, you want to preserve your endurance, you want to preserve your strength and your desire to do things throughout the day. Your muscle and your muscle mass in your body is going to help in all those areas. So having said all that, really the best thing for you to do is combine the two. I can remember when I was just working on doing muscle training, okay? And I was in a situation where I had to kind of sprint to get somewhere on time. And I found myself running and I said, oh my goodness, I'm getting out of breath too quickly. I don't like that, So I started realizing that I needed to start incorporating a little bit more aerobic, a little bit more walking into my exercise program. And I really have. Now I literally go walking about 15 to 20 minutes each day, and it's totally different now. I would have no problem sprinting a short distance or whatever. So it's good really to listen to your body and see, where you think you need to work on. But I said all that to say that really combining both weight training and aerobics is really the best way to go. So even though we're mainly talking about exercise and movement today, I also want to just talk about the correlation is between eating healthy and exercise. They found that losing weight is 80% nutrition and 20% exercise. So really the focus you need to take is really on what you're eating, okay? And I'm sure if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know all the different recipes I share, the importance of eating low glycemic, all these things. But I'm just going to quickly give you a very, very broad overview of how you should eat in order to stay healthy, okay? So a balanced diet would include eating enough protein, eating low glycemic fruits and vegetables, which would include berries, strawberries, blueberries, apples, oranges, pears, and peaches. No melons, no watermelons, no pineapple, no bananas. And as far as the vegetables go, broccolis and spinaches and escarole and kale, and no peas and no corn. And then finally, greatly reducing processed carbohydrates, including chips and all kinds of other, white bread, all these, sugared cereals, all those different things that are going to really make your sugar spike and increase inflammation. And really incorporating healthy fats, like fat that comes from avocado and olive oil and salmon. And so that's my overall broad, just to give you an idea. So while you're exercising, which is 20% of your weight loss, don't ignore your nutrition, which would include all those things that I just mentioned, okay? Really, you want your whole body, you want to take care of your body. It's the only one you have. And you want to make sure that you're smart, that you gain knowledge, that you see, and you research a little bit at least. Find out what's actually healthy for you to do, rather than continuing on a downward spiral and wondering why you're getting sick and why you have high blood pressure and all these things. Healthy motion is the best start forward, and then the next step you need to take is to incorporate aerobics and resistance training into your day. And also, the thing that's going to help you most is getting into a routine. Once the time is allotted for the exercise, you won't have to have any excuses, okay? You'll know, all right, from 7 to 7:30 or from 6:30 to 7, I'm going to be exercising. And if it's part of your routine and part of your day, it's just something that you do. It's not something you have to remember, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and like and subscribe. I hope it really helped you think a little bit differently about how you can incorporate exercise into your life and what type of exercise you should incorporate. I hope it helped you think a little bit differently about what's most important, nutrition or exercise. And I hope it just helped you see that you need to not ignore certain things, and you need to be educated and, informed. You don't want to, as I mentioned, go down a downward spiral of not worrying about anything that you eat, not exercising at all, and wonder why you're sick and why you're unhealthy. Knowledge is your friend. Knowledge and gaining information about health is the best thing that you can do. And of course, the next step is implementing what you learn. Okay? So have a wonderful week. I hope that you incorporate some of those things. Get healthy. It's the only body that you have, and you want to take care of it. Okay? Have a great week. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.